Star Citizen, the biggest scam in gaming history. And for legal reasons, that's obviously a joke. More than 10 years later, almost $1 billion received in funding. What do we have? Well, nothing. We have almost the same amount as Ashes of Creation has achieved in their decade of doing absolutely nothing and charging extreme prices for pixels. Honestly, at this point, what, by the way, do you think is a bigger letdown and probably a potential lawsuit waiting to happen? Ashes of Creation or Star Citizen? And again, just a reminder, only a fool would take anything said on this channel seriously. Everything is obviously comedy. Great stuff, by the way. It's hilarious. In any case, it's not looking good. Star Citizen is barely a game, okay? They have some aspects of it, but let me be absolutely real with you. Any single person defending Star Citizen in the comments or saying, oh no, it's an actual real thing, they're insane. They're insane. They're absolutely coped up the wazoo. Star Citizen is a fucking joke, okay? 50k, almost 50k for a ship. And I know that there's going to be some people in the comments saying, oh no, this is disinformation, this is lies. No ship costed 50k. Yeah, true. The pack where you got multiple ships only costed 48k. Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, that's so much better. I'm sorry for the misinformation. No one cares. It's ass. There's no excuses for this. Literally pixels that cost 30k. What is the point of playing Star Citizen? Playing, by the way. If all you're gonna do is like buy a 40k ship and then laugh about someone else who bought only a 30k ship. Like, that's the literal whole point of the game at this point. Again, game in air quotes. Well, honestly, Ashes of Creation is never gonna probably be finished, okay? But, man, at least it has some content in it, and it's not all buggy. It's only 90% buggy. Jesus.
You want to see something totally crazy, like outside of this world? Star Citizen, which has been raising money since 2012, has now raised over $900 million, $901,818 to be precise, as of today.
Look at this. This is literally by days. They are making 2 million a day, and they still haven't finished the game. And by the way, this making of them 2 million on average a day has been pretty normal, pretty substantial, well, okay, listen, it doesn't really matter how much they're making a day. Because if you divide 900 million by, I don't know, 10, 12 years or something like that, at worst case scenario, you are getting 80 million a year or 90 million a year. That is ridiculous, okay? A lot of AAA games don't have budgets like this, and yet they somehow deliver more. I honestly can't wait until Star Citizen gets woke, because, I mean, at this rate, it's probably gonna happen. Let's be absolutely real. Maybe it's already woke, but no one talks about it because everyone who talks negatively about Star Citizen is shamed by the creepy, stupid zealots who are gonna defend this game no matter what. Oh no, it's the best game ever! Surely.
And that's expected to go up by another 2 to 3 million when midnight strikes tonight, when they do the new tally. And what's even crazier is that the game is still in alpha. There still is no release date in sight, and it looks like they may even have to delay the launch of their...
But you have a really bad tutorial, so I mean, there you go.
Single-player version of the game, which was scheduled for launch in 2026. The people making it are now even...
Oh, by the way, I would like to remind everyone that a couple of years ago, the Star Citizen defense tier list was like this. Oh, they got so much money, so they're adding new things. What kind of new things are they adding? What kind of new system? That excuse doesn't even work. It hasn't worked for years at this point. They're not adding new mechanics. They're not adding things like that. So why isn't the game ready now?
skeptical of whether they will hit that release date, which they gave themselves back in 2024. It's absolutely crazy, it's wild, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. But at the same time, there's a lot of misinformation that goes around with Star Citizen, and I wanted to debunk some of that and actually boot up the game as you can play it today and share it with you, because a lot of people don't realize just how much of the game is done and is playable, even though there's like 15,000
How much of the game is good? That's the real question you should be asking, but no one asks that for some reason.
asterisks next to it. So I'm gonna give you both sides of it. Whether you are a fan of Star Citizen or a hater, there will be something for you in this video, because I'm in that weird spot where I've played it and I can see that there is something here, and I understand why people connect with it. And I also think it's patently ridiculous and insane.
Star Citizen is the eternal state of Ashes of Creation desert. That's where we're at.
And so I'll tell you all about it today. Hooray. And I'm doing this for free. I'm not even getting like a slice of the $900 million they've raised. Not even a penny. Not even a penny. I'm just a loser making a video because I find it interesting. So here we are. Anyway, let's talk about some Star Citizen stuff, because it's crazy. Lots to talk about. But first, to thank you to our sponsor, Sword of Convallaria. And it was going to
Wait, did he actually have to slowly drift his audience into the ad? What the hell is that?
merge ideas and design philosophies from classic MMO. $2.5 million beyond what they had initially planned. On their website, you can actually still go and see the original funding idea. They were only trying to raise $2.5 million, and that was back in December of 2012. And as you can see, they surpassed those goals, and then some, and then some, and then some, and it just kept going and kept going. And they actually ended up maxing out their goals in the original like fundraising push at $65 million, which they achieved, of course, and then some. And over the last decade plus 13 years, they have continued to raise more and more and more and more money. And as that's been done, feature creep has set in. Things have gotten significantly more ambitious, let's just say, and absolutely crazy. The basic description is that there's two sides of the Star Citizen project. There's the Persistent Universe and Squadron 42. Squadron 42 is a more traditional single-player narrative game, at least as far as we understand.
Oh, Jesus, what the hell am I even looking at? Oh my god.
It's been in production for years and years and years, and it has a pretty intense star-studded cast of actors.
Wait a minute.
For years and years and years, and it has a pretty intense
I recognize this guy.
star-studded cast of actors and actresses, even Mark Hamill, as you see there. And they've done a bunch of motion capture going back a decade or so, and this is slated for release in 2026. Allegedly. More on that later. The other side of the game is the Persistent
I honestly think hell will freeze over before Star Citizen releases.
Universe. This is what I have running right here, and you can actually try the game yourself. And if you buy into the game with one of their starter packs for, I believe they're going for $45 right now, you can actually get access to this version of the game right now, and you can play it. And so while some people point out that like, oh, Star Citizen's a scam, it's not technically true. Like, there is a game.
Well, yeah, technically it's not true. We all know that. Technically it's not true. True, real, bis, and big.
There is something here for you to play, and it actually is quite robust and expansive. There is a lot going on here, but it's just not, what's the word? Done, finished, polished. You'll see what I mean. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna turn on my engines.
The last time I heard my friends talk about Star Citizen was like a year and a half ago, when they added some kind of Radiant fucking tier missions or some garbage like that. And they didn't even properly work, okay? That was kind of how it went.
Just like that. And then I can take off. And I actually have already requested clearance from the spaceport that I'm currently at. And once they grant you clearance to take off, you can just do that. And because it is a crazy high-tech game, you can actually just immediately go and fly to other planets. You can fly all over the star system that you're at, engage in like dogfights and combat with other players, and it's all seamless. No loading screens here. This is no Starfield. I'll tell you what, this is like what Starfield wishes it was. It's like
wow,
kind of crazy,
brave
but,
Luke.
yeah, it just works. All of this just works. That is until it doesn't. You see, Star Citizen is known for being super buggy, like super buggy, and having all sorts of issues with performance. You need a supercomputer to run it, blah de blue de blah blah. In fact, right now I'm actually running the game in windowed mode. You can actually see that if I move the OBS.
Was that a screen tear right now, or was that like the freebie in front of the camera?
Yes, window there.
In any case, that should not happen.
And that's because the game is like so janky at times that it will actually cause it to crash for me, specifically if I try to run this at anything other than windowed mode. If I try to run it at like full screen, it crashes randomly. I don't know.
A year from completion, boys. Can't fucking launch a game in full screen mode. A year from completion. Surely. 2026 is gonna be one hell of a year for all the Star Citizen fans. Actually, this is an absolutely amazing thumbnail, Luke. I will save this for life, okay? I'm making a screenshot. Relax, boys. Yeah, give your daddy a second, okay? In the meantime, you can just like the video and, it takes less than a second. Comment down below. And there we go.
Why? I play a lot of PC games. I've never seen that before, but that's a thing. So there you go. But when it is working, it is legitimately really cool and does work quite well. As you can see, I'm jumping with...
I mean, the stuff that they actually went for was pretty impressive. That's like the thing about Star Citizen. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of bad things to say about it, but the stuff that they technically are going for is impressive, and it is cool. So, if they have something that barely works, it is kind of nice. Though, admittedly, I will retain from actually commenting fast travel in this Fortnite, because we already have had games that have done this like a million times. So, the only impressive thing about this type of fast travel, seamless fast travel, is the fact that Starfield couldn't manage to do it. That's the only impressive feat about this type of fast travel. Many space games have this.
My warp drive right now, so you can travel.
Also, it doesn't even look that impressive, to be honest.
Across the system, super
No Man's Sky is way more impressive.
Super quickly, and we'll see how it just does it super seamlessly as I approach my arrival point. I have a not super great warp drive because this is a starter ship, because I don't want to spend thousands of dollars in this game. More on that in a second, because yes, you can do that and many people do. So we'll just have to sit and wait like losers while we warp our way over there.
And I think it's gonna be a little raw.
There you go.
That was cringe.
That's how quick it was. Super fast. But it is cool that we can just like travel here. That is legitimately...
By the way, if fast travel actually is not dependent on load screens like this, but on your drive, isn't this like literally, okay, Trash, you can buy something that's gonna be versed in the Starfield loading screen chip? But how about you just cough up a couple of hundos, and then we can hook you up with an actual warp drive that doesn't make you feel wishing to place. No, seriously, that's really bad. I have never seen this fully. I have never seen that. So if you use a starter ship, you're telling me you're better off playing Starfield, bro?
Awesome. I appreciate that we can do it with like no load screens. That's genuinely like awesome and like really badass when other games require it. Does just take an adjustment in mindset, because this is a seamless universe, and you can do some crazy stuff. Crazy guy.
I expected that, to be honest. I think that was intentional, though.
I forgot to slow down.
I think he's clip farm. I mean, there's no fucking way. you don't understand this. This is just like farming. Someone's really trying to be a Twitch streamer, okay? Jesus.
I forgot to slow down. Forgot to slow down. So I crashed. After all that, I crashed. There you go. Well, that gives me a second to talk about the other stuff going on. So when you're not crashing ships, there's actually a lot to do. There's people who play this game as a miner. There's people who go and collect salvage and deliver it back to space stations. There's people who go and engage in firefights or dogfights or races within their ships. There's people who do all of the above. There's even dedicated missions for you to go on fighting NPC enemies and things. There's all sorts of stuff already in the game today. That is the persistent universe side of the game. It is clunky, it is janky, but it's an alpha. They're still building the game. There's new features.
It's an alpha for 10 plus years. Relax.
Constantly new updates and content. It's a work in progress. So what is the problem people have with the game?
Okay, listen, if I did not know anything about Star Citizen, these 9 minutes of Luke would have already, by the way, convinced me fully, considering we have skipped some of them, that Star Citizen is garbage.
Well, like I said, they've raised $900 million. And you might be wondering, like, how have they done that? Is that through venture capital? Is that through just going to publishers?
I'm pretty sure there was no such thing as investors.
Like EA.
Also, slick. That's a slick one logo. Maybe it's venture capital. Oh, big words, yes. Venture capital is just risky investments that may provide no returns or big returns. That's what venture capital.
For somebody in raising money that way? No, it's done through the players. You might be wondering, how on earth do you raise $900 million from players in an...
Because people are stupid. That's pretty simple explanation if you think about it.
An unreleased game. Well, it's done with something called pledges, my friends, pledges. There is a store for Star Citizen where you can go and access right now yourself, and you see they've got game packages, ships, paints, merchandise, ship upgrades, gear, all sorts of stuff. But this is not just in-game currency, my friends. This is actually something you can purchase with real money. So you can see this standalone ship is $105 US. This clipper is $135 US. The Golem ship is $80 US. The Perseus, this is
the Golem ship. Oh my god. They literally called it the Golem. Oh, please tell me that's also the most popular ship. Please tell me that's the most popular ship.
Just the paint job is $22. The ship itself is a good bit more. In fact, you can actually go with...
I like how some people were commenting the last time we made fun of Star Citizen about the fact, oh, you can actually farm, you don't need to spend $40,000 on the ship, you can farm it. You can farm it in a day, in fact. Yes, cheap, yes.
Sort specifically for standalone ships, and you can see that the Perseus is $800, the Polaris is $975, the Odyssey is $700, the Perseus red variant over here is $700, the Merchantman is $650, the Orion $650, the Carrack is $600, $575, and it just goes on and on and on. And this is not counting some of the other more expensive ships that have either been announced, are no longer available for sale, at least at this moment within the store, or...
But don't worry, the expensive shit obviously makes a comeback sooner or later, because, I mean, that's just free money on the floor.
Some combination of the two, like they're still being built and they'll sell them later or whatever else. The Idris, for example, is a massive ship that actually is designed to host 28 crew members, meaning you will need 28 people to run this ship at full capacity and capabilities. It has med bays, cafeterias, it has like all sorts of crazy stuff. This is like a freaking movie theater within the game. It's crazy. You can see they have like this little interactive thing for you to look at and see what it's like. X-ray, give me the wireframe. I want to see wireframe. That's cool. That's key. And you can look at it that way. But this is a $1,000 ship. Cool, clean, grand. There you go. Just a stack. Just a stack. They also have the Javelin, which...
I mean, this is so much more eco-friendly, by the way, than buying a car.
which was originally revealed back in 2014, I believe, and it has a max capacity of 65. It's still in development, and my understanding is that they originally intended to only produce like 200 of these and charge 20.
Ah, yes, because nothing screams legitimacy more than fake scarcity in a game where shit's overpriced. And again, people are gonna literally defend this and say, "Oh, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. Why do you care? Why do you care?" God damn it. Star Citizen fans are literally some of the worst people I have seen in my life.
$2,500 a piece for them. I don't know how that ended up or settled, but that was, I believe, the original plan. But you'll start to see that a lot of the highest end ships are really hard to find. And so you have to go to what's called a gray market to buy these, which are not technically within the purview of Robert Space Industries, the developers of Star Citizen, but rather you have to go to a place like the Impound, and you can see here you can buy a Star Citizen account when they're not sold out, which has the Praetorian account, Javelin Idris, or Kraken, F8C Lightning Executive and Standard, both LTI, Capital Fleet with rare collectibles. You can buy the account for $7,200. This one you can buy for 10 grand. This one is 12 grand. And so they'll just straight up sell accounts based on what they have within them if somebody wants to get out of the game for whatever reason. 25 grand for this tier of account, but as you can see, these are currently all sold out because players are not actively selling their accounts. Oh, I guess this one is not. This one, the $25,000 one, is available. So look out, guys. This one is available. It has all of these things within it. Somebody played the crap out of this game to build this account. I would love to know why they're selling it. Like, what happened that they need to get rid of it?
Probably debt collectors. That would be my guess.
I'm so curious.
Because if you're rich, I mean, if you're rich, you don't care about 25K, okay? That's how it is.
Curious, because they played this so much, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at all the ships they have. That's wild. Oh, and look, you can actually you can finance it with Shop Pay. Only $2,200 a month. You know, a mortgage for a Star Citizen account. Golly. Now, the reason people are willing to spend so much for ships is because ships really are the central mechanic within the game. It's how you get around. It's how you complete deliveries. It's how you interact with pretty much every facet of the game. Yes, there are things to do when you're not in ships. Like right now, I'm leaving the med bay and I'm headed back to where I can go to pick up my ship. You can go interact with vendors like this. You'll notice
I can literally see stuttering.
Is like struggle bussing right now to run, but here I can buy things with in-game currency if I want to. That's an option. But really, at the end of the day, everything is about the ships. That's what everything is tied back to. It's a sci-fi game after all. I mean, that's kind of what you would expect, right? I mean, it's not really that big of a shocker to me. But it's important to note that most people probably get most of their ships with in-game currency that they gain by like completing activities or missions. You can see I can file an insurance claim on that ship I just crashed. I can pay an expedited fee and that'll speed up the time. And now I just kind of sit back and chill while I wait for the ship to be delivered. Or I could take delivery of another ship I have on this account. But in this case, I'll just wait for the Intrepid because it's cooler. But the important thing to understand is that ships that are gained by in-game currency will actually be wiped. They regularly do server wipes and resets. Like maybe it's once a year, maybe it's once every 3 months. It's all over the place, just depending on what they need for development when they're working on the game. But when they do a server,
I did not know this. Oh my god. That's no, I don't even care about anything else. I am done. Star Citizen is garbage. There's no way you're gonna convince me about anything else. Unless you pay me money, company that owns Star Citizen. My opinions can be swayed through financial means. Not a lot, by the way. My soul is really cheap. At the end of the day, that was Luke Steffens, 10 out of 10. Oh my god, I did not know that they get wiped. This is insane. Thanks for watching, bye.